You are listening, watching Match Point Canada. Guys, hit our subscribe button below. And I'm here with Philip Fama, Tweener Head Tennis on YouTube. And we're reacting. Aryna Sabalenka winning the Madrid Open title. Her 20th career WTA title, 4 straight finals. And I gotta say, she is, without a doubt, our number one player on the women's side.
Absolutely. And thank you again for having me. I really do appreciate it. This final kind of has been a headline, let's just say, for how Sabalenka has been playing. 3 titles. It's just incredible to see what she's able to do. And even in the last 9 months, she's been doing some incredible things. And she already has over 11,000 points. There's only 2 others that were able to do that after Madrid, and that was Serena Williams in 2013 and Iga in 2024. So it's really cool to see how Sabalenka I wouldn't say finally, but she's I feel like she's been destined to be the number one player for a really long time. And
Yeah.
this year has kind of proven why she should be the number one player in the world right now. And seeing how dominant she is and seeing what she's been able to accomplish has been a real sigh of relief, let's just say, as tennis fans.
Yeah, it's been pretty staggering. As you mentioned, not unprecedented domination, but she's built a sizable gap with this number one ranking here. And she defeats Coco Gauff in the finals 6-3, 7-6. It was a comfortable first set. We talk about the second set. Gauff was up 5-3. She had her chances at 5-4. She actually had a set point in a longer game. And then again, Sabalenka moves ahead. And then one of those sort of push and pull sort of tie breaks where you felt like both of them are a little bit tight.
Mhm.
Goff's forehand, we've seen it before in big key moments. That's the shot I'm always nervous about to let her down. And it was 3-all in the second set tiebreak. She had a midcourt forehand she needed to step in on, rolled it into the net. And after that, it felt like curtains. And unfortunately, she double faulted on championship point. Still, positives to take away for Goff in this one.
100%. And kind of seeing what Goff does and seeing her have success at a tournament like this, especially in the warm up to Roland Garros, and seeing what hopefully she'll have some success in Rome. And let's not forget, she was a finalist at Roland Garros and that she does have a lot of positives coming into a tournament she feels comfortable with, and seeing how she can play on clay too. She won Junior French Open. She made the final of the French Open. Like, she is a clay court player, even though she won the US Open, a hard court tournament. But seeing the success, especially after maybe saying she had some struggles leaning into some of these bigger tournaments. So it's good to see her find the momentum at the right time building up the to the French Open.
I want to go back to Sabalenka. And, we mentioned the 20 career titles, winning Madrid here. She's reached 4 consecutive finals. Another impressive stat, 2025. She is 6-0 against top 10 opponents, which I think begs the question, even Rome around the corner, Roland Garros around the corner. Who are the players you're looking at to beat Sabalenka? Because she's taking down all her rivals. And Goff is one of those rivals who's given her trouble in the past. With this win, they're now 5-5. But it felt like, I don't know if it's a statement victory, but
Mhm.
we'll get into Iga Swiatek and her struggles on the clay. But Rybakina is kind of out of the picture in terms of form right now. She beats Goff. Who are the players who can really stop Sabalenka right now?
To be honest, I have no idea. Like, that's the thing about it, right? When we talk about players, if you're
Yeah.
just looking at everyone in the top 10 right now, Navarro, Keys, Paulini, Pegula, Goff, Andreeva, Zhang, like, out of all of them on clay, the only kind of real threat is Iga, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to Roland Garros. I think Iga has, or is, I should say, the most dominant player we've seen at Roland Garros for the women in a very long time. I mean, 4 Roland Garros titles already, and everyone else, I think, unless Sabalenka's having a bad day, I really don't see anyone in, at least in the top 10, begging the question of can they beat Sabalenka on this surface.
And speaking of bad days, I mean, Coco Gauff, amazing tournament, We talked about that getting to the finals, I think is big time result. She has completely turned the rivalry on its head with Iga Swiatek. This is a matchup where we felt probably the first few seasons there was no path for Goff to win matches. I think she lost the first 10 in a row. Iga completely dominated, particularly on clay. And I mean, that's not really surprising because she dominates so many players on clay. But for Goff to defeat Iga, two breadsticks, 6-1, 6-1, just an absolute thrashing. Was this more about Goff being great or Iga trending in a really bad direction?
That's a great question because I think it could be seen as both. Like Iga, same thing, not having the dominant season that she's had in the past leading up to Roland Garros, but seeing Goff, I think it was more of a shock to see Goff beat Iga like that and seeing what Iga may be going through. I mean, for those of you that didn't see, Iga was down, I want to say 3-1 or 4-1 in the second set and was breaking down into tears.
Yeah.
Maybe something's happening there. I know that her I think there was a report that her grandfather passed away on May. I want to say that tweet came out yesterday or the day before.
Hmm.
So maybe that's something that she's really troubled with. But at the same time, I think it's more of a shock than anything else going forward. I think maybe we can put an asterisk on it if we see them face off again in Rome or in Roland Garros, but
Yeah.
it's definitely one to question, to say the least.
And she said after like that loss to Iga, she never really felt comfortable the entire tournament. She's feels like her movement's a little slower. You look at her path. I mean, she nearly lost to Alexandra Iala in that first round match. I mean, she escaped there in 3 sets. Diana Schneider pushed her to the brink actually in the round of 16 too. That was 6-4 in the third.
Mhm.
She lost an opening set to Madison Keys 6-love in the quarterfinals. So there's obviously some concerns where, like, I don't know if it's kind of a pressure mounting and she's reaching a breaking point of worrying about having to defend all these points. Rome coming up, where, obviously she's defending the title there. Roland Garros coming up, where everyone believes she'll win. And Goff is now nipping at her heels for that second spot in the rankings.
She's only 100 points behind as I'm looking at the rankings now,
Yeah.
and the fact that Goff was 0-10 in sets before Iga on clay, like that's a stat that you really have to
Yeah.
look at and go, how but today must have been just the most off day Iga's ever had, right? And
Yeah.
seeing kind of that dominance, it's I think the best word is stunned. Stunning, I should say.
Yeah, completely. And look, she went and got the blockbuster hire with Wim Fissette.
Mhm.
They're making semifinals of a bunch of these tournaments. The expectation for Iga though is winning titles. She hasn't played a final yet in 2025, which is like remarkable to
It's
think
kind of
about
shocking.
that.
It's kind
Yeah,
of shocking.
I don't know if that's gonna change in Rome, but I think it obviously changes the complexion of how we're looking at the second Grand Slam of the season. I want that to lead us into a little top 5. Who are our top 5 favorites for Roland Garros? And maybe we count them down. Let's start at number 5.
Oh god.
Um, I'm gonna let you know who I have. I'll start,
Yeah,
and
please.
then
We'll start with yours.
you can
Please.
you can respond.
Okay.
Number 5, not that she's had a formidable clay court season to begin here in 2025, but the experience and that she's gained over the past year plus, reaching an Aussie Open final, winning the gold medal in Paris. Zheng Xinwen is going to be my number 5 pick for the French Open as a contender.
Who's that?
Just for the fact that obviously she's won a huge title on that very same surface in Paris, even if it came later in the season,
Mhm.
and she has that hunger and belief every time she steps on the court. Fierce competitor. So she's my number 5 at the moment. That could change, obviously, depending on the results we see in Rome.
Mhm. I agree. I think I won't say my number 5. I'll give you 5. I can give you 5 people. I'm not gonna put them in
Let's
order.
do
I
it.
hope that's
Okay.
okay. I'm
Yep.
gonna start with my first one is gonna be Yelena Ostapenko. I've been
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people are gonna laugh at me for this, but I like giving those bold predictions. But when she won Stuttgart, it was the
Mhm.
best tennis we've ever seen from her in a very long time. And coming into it, kind of having momentum a little bit in singles, going into a tournament that she's won for the French Open is it's a recipe for success, in my opinion. So Ostapenko is one of my five players.
I love it. And let's be honest. I mean, if she ends up in, say, like a round of 16 bracket with Iga, isn't that like Swiatek's ultimate nightmare?
Yes, exactly.
If she would have to face a player like her. I'll go down to another one, number four, and look, she's had an unbelievable season. She's won two WTA 1000 titles, and she has a win over Sabalenka. It came on hard court. I just think her game plays up on clay too. Is Mira Andreeva. And Goff beat her here in Madrid 7-5, 6-1. Great performance. But Andreeva, she's gotten very far at Roland Garros in the past. So I have to believe then again, especially as her ranking is in a much more positive place, that she could be at the business end of that tournament again.
I definitely agree with you, and that was going to be my number four as well because for her, Conchita Martinez has been doing a really good job with her. I think she's definitely maturing a lot faster. I apologize if people can hear my dog ripping through his giant basketball behind me. I apologize. But I think Andreeva has been showing a lot more maturity and with Conchita and having that quote that she went viral for. It's like, I want to thank myself. Like
Yeah.
that belief that she has in herself right now can really push her forward in this Roland Garros run, and I definitely think she is one of the top 5 to look out for at this year's Roland Garros.
Well said. Number three on my list. I'm gonna say Coco Gauff. Maybe it's rude to not put her number two, and we're just aligning with the rankings right now. Obviously, doing finals in Madrid, the incredible wins over Iga, of course, 6-1, 6-1, beating Mira Andreeva. Just her general path in Madrid. I'm still nervous about the serve under pressure
Mhm.
and the forehand under pressure. But obviously, as you said, off the top, she's been to the French Open final before, and now is where it feels a little more open than in past years.
I definitely agree, and for her to kind of she's actually my number 2,
Okay,
for my favorites because for my number 3, I have Sabalenka. Like,
okay,
we've seen in the past, Sabalenka this year, Sabalenka has shown why she's dominant number 1, and seeing her win in Madrid now, again, it's we're gonna have to see that on the bigger stage, and we haven't seen that from Sabalenka at Roland Garros.
yep,
So I want to see. That's why she's still in my top 5, but she's not. She still hasn't pushed me to believe that she's gonna be the favorite at Roland Garros because I have, and I'm gonna kind of skip ahead here. We have golf ahead of her. Like,
yeah,
even though
okay.
golf lost today, I think in a bigger setting, I think golf might actually best her from a mentality standpoint.
I will say too, that surface, Madrid plays a little faster than
Mhm.
Roland Garros, so I don't think Sabalenka's going to get the number of free points that she did on her serve, particularly that she did in the final. In this case, against Coco, where she
Mhm.
probably should have lost that second set.
Yeah,
Goff bailed her out
100%.
with a few mistakes.
Mhm.
Iga's going to be, out of respect. I thought about putting her number one, but just the fact that she hasn't even been to a final this season, and I just sense a lot of vulnerability on the mental side of her game.
Yeah.
But you still got to give the respect to the fact that she's a four-time Roland Garros champion. She's going to be the number two on my list.
Mhm.
Aryna Sabalenka. Right now, I have her number one.
Yeah, and I have Iga as my number I look, I think Iga coming into Roland Garros is gonna start with a clean slate, depending on how she does in Rome, but I think Iga is still, like I said earlier in our chat, she still is the most dominant player in the last, let's just say, 7 years on at Roland Garros, right?
Yeah.
And seeing her play and already win 4 Roland Garros titles, there's a reason kind of why Rafa inspired her. She's already kind of taking that same dominant mentality into Paris, and she's still, I think, my favorite to win it. I just don't say it with confidence because of what's been happening this year, and maybe Roland Garros will give her some more familiarity and some more comfort knowing how well she plays at a place like that.
And I honestly think she's gotta forget about the ranking. I don't think the ranking
I agree.
matters.
The
Like,
ranking shouldn't matter because as of right now, she's 5,000 back. Is
yeah,
that
so it's not like we're in a chase for number one right now.
yeah.
And both Sabalenka, Swiatek, they're proven, established Grand Slam champions. It's kind of really living in the present moment for Swiatek. That's got to be the challenge. But as you said, 4 French Open crowns. She's only 23 years old.
That's what's crazy.
It's nuts.
Sabalenka's turning 27 this year. Iga is turning 24 this year. Goff just turned 21. The oldest person right now in the top 10 is Pagula, and she is 31.
Yeah,
Keys is 30. Paulini's 29. And then Badoza is 27. Like, we still have young people in the top 10. Andreeva's 18.
it's
Goff's
crazy.
21.
Yeah,
Zhang is 22 and Navarro's 23. Like, it shows you that there's young talent that's deep here, and even looking on the outside too of the top 10, and like looking at Yelena Ostapenko, looking at Donna Vekic, who was a runner-up at Paris Olympics. She
yeah.
was a silver medalist. Like, seeing players like that that could possibly cost you because another one. And I think another name I have to throw out there. Well, let's go with two. Um, maybe three. I don't know. I don't know where this is going.
Hey, go for
Uh,
it.
uh, Alina Svitolina.
Yeah,
Like right now, I'm looking at and I'm not going to say which site it is, but I'm looking at the site, and Svitolina is the fifth favorite to win Roland Garros as we're talking right now, and
crazy.
that's tied with Rybakina and Zhang. Like,
Yeah.
Svitolina just won a tournament too on clay, so it's not out of the question. She's having an unbelievable comeback season after having a kid. So that's a name you really have to look out for. We look at Diana Schneider as well. We
Oh, yeah.
look at Anna Samova. The list
We
goes
kind
on
of
and on.
Yeah, we kinda have, like, this blend of fountain of youth
Mhm.
talent who are all capable and fearless, they can do it at any time, and then we have this wealth of experience where I think of the Svitolinas, you think of the Pegulas who just reached her first Grand Slam final,
Yeah.
last year and is more of a late bloomer who's playing some fantastic tennis, and obviously Madison Keys, who won her first title at the front end of the year, so
Mhm.
hey, I'm excited. We got Roland Garros coming up in a few weeks and Rome starting this week, another 2-week event with the WTA 1000. Hey, Phil, always great to chat with you. Hit up his YouTube page, Tweener Head Tennis, for more of his content. Congrats to Aryna Sabalenka for the title in Madrid. We'll be back for more. Hit the subscribe button below, guys. Thanks for watching Matchpoint Canada.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much for watching us at Matchpoint Canada. If you like our work, follow along, hit the subscribe button below.